I salute you all with discipline, Captain Ibrahim Traore, and all other heads of state. It is before you all, wherein I call upon all members of the South African National Defence Force to serve and defend me as the people of this country in accordance with the Constitution and the law. Rear Admiral Handsome Matsane, you are the Flag Officer Fleet in the South African Navy. Rear Admiral Skhumbuzo Msikinya, you are the Flag Officer Commanding of Naval Base Simonstown. Rear Admiral Mabula, you are Inspector General in the People's Navy. I'm calling upon you in particular because as Inspector General, you must ensure compliance with policy. As Flag Officer Commanding of Naval Base Simonstown, you must ensure discipline and maintain discipline. Rear Admiral Skhumbuzo Msikinya, you know that I was taught very well by yourself and Captain George Mpafi, who is now retired as Rear Admiral. You taught me to argue based on policy. And the policy that I base my argument on is the Constitution. You are now all called to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign or domestic, as you have pledged. And in defending this particular Constitution, you will understand it to be true that it is true that Vice Admiral Monde Lobesi is under arrest, including Vice Admiral Samuel Hlongwane. They are under arrest. I am not joking when I say I serve and defend my country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law. Section 40 of the Criminal Procedure Act obligates any peace officer at all times, including you, Rear Admiral Matsane, including you, Rear Admiral Msikinya, including you, Rear Admiral Mabula. As peace officers, you must arrest without warrant any person who commits an offense in your presence. And you must discipline yourself to the applicable terms because we all have subordinates. I, as a lieutenant commander, have got subordinates, and then those particular subordinates, I am leading them by example of the Constitution and the law. The Constitution is our manual. It is not a lie that the Chief of the Defense Force is under arrest. All these truths, they are in terms of a Constitutional Court case number CCT 141 of 2024. In which I have followed an Act of Parliament in terms of Milestone 1 and Milestone 2 of the South African Defence Review to arrest the decline in critical capabilities through immediate directed interventions and to rebalance and reorganize the Defence Force as a foundation for future growth. If I am wrong, that means all of you are all wrong. And everything that you have read in the South African Defence Review is wrong. And the reality is that in that South African Defence Review, the chairperson of it, Mr. Rolf Meyer, has told all people that the Defence Force is the last line of defense when all organs of state fails. It is not a lie that the judges in the Constitutional Court are under arrest. All I am asking from the people that have sworn to serve and defend the country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, dignity, courage, and integrity, is exactly that. I am asking you to serve and defend the country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law. The reality that we are having is real. All people in our country are being forced by Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa to pray to God in national prayer that they want to live and struggle for freedom, leading them into the darkness that I have answered a high calling to take people out of and bring them to the light. And the light is the law. Read your Bible correctly and understand that the light is the law. At section 9.2 of the Constitution, it is written that equality includes the full and equal enjoyment of all rights and freedoms. Why do you find yourself now promoting, protecting, and respecting a reality that is law or conduct that is inconsistent with the obligations imposed by your manual? That is why I ask the sharp end to maintain discipline. The People's Navy, it's exactly that, the People's Navy. I know all of you would say, no, we are not going to listen to Mangolele because the Admiral does not like him or the General does not like him. This is not about like or dislike. This is about country and its people that are being served in accordance with the Constitution and the law. And I cannot change the Constitution. I did not write it. I only defend and uphold it and respect it as the supreme law of the Republic as a commissioned officer. It's a first duty of the president, the person who must uphold, who must defend, and who must respect the Constitution as the supreme law. That is the only person that can cancel this permanent commission that I hold. I refer to myself as the president because I am upholding, I am defending, and I am respecting the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic. And I am promoting the unity of the nation and that which will advance the Republic as obligated in terms of Section 83 of the Constitution, defining the duty of Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, who has engaged all of you to make sure that I do not have any right and do not live as an equal person before the law. Right now, I'm supposed to go to court at Hillbrow on the 5th of December. Answering a charge of trespassing. That trespassing happened in the court according to the people that have opened that case. When I go to the court to have any dispute resolved by the application of law decided in a fair public hearing before a court or, as it was appropriate, another independent and impartial tribunal or forum. For complying with the law, you get arrested by the people who do not comply with the law. We all left home to join the military to fulfill a purpose and function. The purpose and function of discipline in the naval base Simonstown is of critical importance. Rear Admiral Skhumbuze Msikinya, go look at all the discipline profile that I have, and you will find it to be true that all that I have done was to ensure that discipline is maintained and is kept in the People's Navy. and everybody scares you now. I am boss. You are not going to have discipline when it comes to Mangolele. And all of you, you go home, you live your life as if the words that you are saying have no meaning. So you will call me, or you will come to my home in Mokhokhelo and meet with me, and you will make it a point that the law is maintained and order is kept. Because it is true that we are in a state of emergency as a result of disorder. It is true that the Minister of Defense, the current and the previous, are under arrest in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution and the law at Section 40 of the Criminal Procedure Act, because I see them doing wrong in front of me, in my presence, in everybody else's presence. And the law says I must arrest without warrant any person who commits an offense in my presence. The wrong that is being committed here is treason. People endangering the security of our republic and changing the constitutional structure when the Constitution says hear a matter before you conclude it. People change that structure. They don't hear a matter. The judges in the Constitutional Court, they will tell you that on 2nd September 2024, we wrote a manifestly illegal order that we are expecting Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Mpulane Madala Mangolele and all people to believe, so that we can continue getting our salary, so that we can continue protecting Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa from accountability, so that we can continue causing all more than 64 million people in South Africa to live and struggle for freedom in their land. Let us be true. Let us understand that we are all human beings, we are all individuals, we all have a duty to contribute to the best of our abilities at all times and at all levels to the promotion and achievement of African unity. Let us achieve that African unity. And that particular African unity starts with the last line of the defense, which is you, the Defense Force. I have asked Captain van der Berg to schedule a meeting with myself and the Military Command Council. And then Captain van der Berg, as a person, knows that no, Chief of the Navy will say no, Mangolele is not coming to that meeting, because it is interest of Chief of the Navy to protect himself as a criminal. The Chief of Defense will also say no, Mangolele must not come here, because they will want to protect themselves as criminals. The Fleet Command Board is under the auspices of Flag Officer Fleet. The Fleet Command Board is all captains or all officers commandings of all force structure elements in the People's Navy. That Fleet Command Board will have an audience with me, understanding very well that I am arresting the Chief of the Navy, I have arrested the Chief of Defense, I have arrested the Minister of Defense, I have arrested the Secretary of Defense, and I have arrested the incumbent Commander-in-Chief. That is the truth. Let's face it and let's deal with it. People are dying every day as slaves, while all of you try to put your heads and then say, oh, we are going to ignore Mangolele. We are not going to listen to him. He is not one of us. He was never even in the Navy, and all those things need to stop. It is an unavoidable reality that when a soldier is recruited, her or his family becomes part of a larger Defense Force family to share in the joys, anxieties, and sometimes unfortunate outcomes, including maiming and death in the Defense Force. My family is suffering. My children cannot see their father because their father does not have money. The money that the criminals that I am arresting have taken and stolen, and are using the elements of the state to oppress me. I have came to all of you and then asked for assistance, and I am coming to all of you now saying, respond and call me in. Stop saying we are not going to serve, we are not going to defend one lieutenant commander. You are my seniors in rank. I refer to Captain Ibrahim Traore as a head of Burkina Faso state, mainly first, because he is my junior in rank, and I shall respect my subordinates and treat them fairly. All I am asking you, Flag Officer Fleet, Rear Admiral Handsome Matsani, Inspector General Rear Admiral Mabula, and the Flag Officer Commanding of Naval Base Simonstown. All three of you will see your subordinates and tell them what you are doing with Mangolele, who is arresting all your bosses. All the people that you know as bosses, now I see them as equal people before the law. And I have acted in accordance with the Constitution and the law to have them arrested. If you cannot arrest them, if those people cannot be arrested, then we do not have the law. There is no constitution and law in which you can serve and defend the country in accordance with. There is just only stupidity of saying, Chief of the Navy, Chief of the Navy, yes, we salute you for oppressing Mangolele. We salute you for making sure that we remain slaves in our land. That's stupidity. And it hurts me to see all of you with your salutes. Salute. You're saluting a person who really wants your children and their children's children to continue to live and strive for freedom. A person who comes to you and tell you that honest truth and say, hey, everybody, all 64 million people must comply with the law of the land. And I show it to you that to live and strive for freedom is law or conduct of living and enjoying freedom. Is law or conduct that is inconsistent with living and enjoying freedom as it is obligated in terms of Section 9(2) of the Constitution. And that Constitution must be followed by everybody. General Rodzane Mapwanya tells you, don't follow the Constitution. You follow me. And you say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ekari, you don't have a brain. Wake up and let us be the people's navy. Let us be the people that are true to their oath of office. If you were not true to your oath of office as per the past 6 years when I've been asking you, people, it's fine. Now you become true to your oath of office going forward. And understand that all people that have thrown me in jail, I am equal before them and they are equal before the law, and they too shall go to jail. It is what the law demands. It is what honor demands. It is what your dignity, your courage, and your integrity demands. Let us stop playing games. The Judge President of the Limpopo High Court is also under arrest. The judges that stood before me and said, no, the Constitution is not the supreme law, they are also under arrest. Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Volane Madala Mangolele has a force number 99004046MC. That's the last number. And I stand proud with that number, telling you this truth. So let us deal with the truth. I did not swear an oath I can't uphold. And when enough people make false promises, then there are no more answers, only better and better lies as a result of words stopping to mean anything. My words do have meaning. Vice Admiral Mondelo Besi, General Rodzane Mapwanya, General Solishoke, Vice Admiral Samuel Hlongwane, and all the people that helped you to oppress me are under arrest. That's not a joke. You are equal before the law. You, as the incumbent chief of the Defense Force, you have failed to structure and manage the Defense Force as a disciplined military force. That's an obligation imposed upon you in terms of Section 201 of the Constitution and the law at Section 14, delineating your functions of office. Let us stop playing games with my life and that of my country and its people whom I serve and defend in accordance with the Constitution and the law. Let us have a reality where we fulfill our oath of office. I say to all of you heads of state, when you see Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, arrest him for oppressing all more than 64 million people to live and strive for freedom. We are not dumb. We know that it is only a slave that lives and strives for freedom in their land. I have been caused to be a slave for the past 6 years without not even a single right in the Constitution being respected, protected, promoted, and fulfilled. Now time has come for that reality to pass, and let us have a reality in which the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law is upheld. Let's leave personalities of people. I fear this one, I fear that one, I fear that one. Leave it. For God has indeed blessed Africa. Papa Ute.